Did you know that Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events"? But there's something even deeper that the Stoics understood. True power lies not in winning every argument, but in knowing which battles to walk away from and which questions should never be answered. In my youth, I thought wisdom was about having the right words. I believed that silence meant weakness. But Timon and the teachings of the Stoics taught me that silence, when chosen with purpose, is strength. There are questions that are not meant to be answered, because answering them means handing over your peace, your dignity, your freedom. Today, I'll reveal 5 of these questions, traps that manipulators and deceivers have used for centuries to gain control. They sound harmless, even friendly, but behind them lies a hidden intention. Seneca once said, "Whoever is calm and composed is hardest to deceive." Let us learn then how the wise remain calm and why they choose silence where others would argue. Question 1. Why are you so nervous? I remember a day, years ago, when a colleague asked me this question before a public meeting. "Why are you so nervous?" he said, smiling. And without thinking, I replied, "I'm not nervous, I just didn't sleep well." That single sentence changed everything, because from that moment, everyone in the room looked at me differently, as if I really was uneasy. It took me years to understand that I had fallen into a subtle psychological trap. When someone asks you, "Why are you so nervous?" or "Why do you look so tense?" they pretend to care, but often they are trying to make you defend yourself. Once you start explaining, you've accepted their premise, that something is wrong with you. Epictetus warned us about this. When someone provokes you, remember that it is not the person who offends you, but your own judgment about it. The manipulator's goal is simple, to make you react. When I learned to stay silent, to simply say, "I'm fine," and return to the subject at hand, something changed. The power shifted back to me. You don't have to prove you're calm to anyone. Your silence, when born of self-mastery, becomes your shield. Never allow others to decide your emotional state for you. If they try to shake your balance, remember, calmness is the most elegant form of strength. Question 2. Don't you trust me? I used to hear this question in relationships, not only romantic ones, but friendships and work as well. Every time I set a boundary or asked for clarification, someone would say, "Don't you trust me?" And immediately guilt would creep in. I'd think, maybe I'm too cold, maybe I'm the problem. But over time I realized this question is not about trust. It's about control. It's a way to make you doubt your own prudence. Seneca wrote, "The first step to wisdom is to distinguish between what we can trust and what we must question." A wise person doesn't trust blindly. He trusts, but he also observes. Once a friend borrowed a large sum of money from me. He looked me in the eyes and said, "Don't you trust me?" And I answered, "I do, but I also trust reality. So let's put it in writing." He laughed at first, then respected me more for it. True trust never fears verification. The Stoic knows that caution is not suspicion. It is awareness. As Marcus Aurelius said, "A man should stand erect, not be kept erect by others." So when someone tries to corner you with "Don't you trust me?" breathe deeply and remember, a trustworthy person never demands blind faith. They respect your boundaries because they respect truth. Question 3. What are you hiding? This one can pierce the heart. I've heard it in moments of tension, when I simply wanted peace, but someone wanted control. "Why are you so quiet? What are you hiding?" In my younger years, I used to explain myself endlessly. I'd say, "I'm not hiding anything," and list my reasons, but it never worked, because explanations rarely satisfy those who are not seeking truth, only power. Seneca said, "He who seeks wisdom should not justify himself to fools." Because when you answer such a question, you accept the role of the accused even when you've done nothing wrong. A manipulative person uses this question to cross your inner walls, to make you expose what you wish to keep private. And privacy is not guilt, it is dignity. I learned to respond differently. Everyone has a right to their inner space. That doesn't mean I'm hiding anything. Sometimes I simply mirror back, "Why do you think I'm hiding something?" These words shift the burden back to them. You'll notice that the manipulator usually changes the subject, because the goal was never to know, but to dominate. If you are constantly being accused or questioned in this way, reflect deeply. Perhaps the real secret is not yours, but theirs. Question 4. Do you think you're better than everyone else? This question usually arrives when you start living differently. When you stop gossiping, stop reacting, stop drinking what everyone else drinks, or stop arguing when others want to fight. That's when someone will say, "Oh, so you think you're better than us now?" I used to defend myself. I'd say, No, I don't think I'm better." But that's another trap. You end up apologizing for your growth. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be good, first believe that you are bad." Growth requires humility, but humility is not submission. I remember a dinner with old friends. Everyone was mocking another person who wasn't there. When I stayed silent, one of them laughed and said, "Come on, you think you're too wise for this?" At that moment, I realized my silence wasn't arrogance, it was peace. So when someone tries to shame you for walking a different path, answer calmly, "I'm not better. I'm just choosing what feels right for me." Or simply, "I respect your path. Respect mine." The crowd always mocks what it doesn't understand. But the Stoic remembers, peace often looks like pride to the restless, and those who try to pull you down are often the ones afraid to rise. Question 5. You won't get offended if I tell you the truth, right? This one is wrapped in politeness, but it's poison coated with sugar. It usually comes right before someone intends to say something cruel. Don't get offended, but years ago I would smile and say, "Of course not. Go ahead." And every time I'd end up regretting it, because that permission I gave turned into a weapon. Epictetus said, "If you want to be invincible, don't enter battles that don't concern you." When someone asks if you'll be offended, they're testing your limits, seeing how much disrespect you'll tolerate. One day a co-worker said to me, "You won't get offended if I tell you what people say behind your back, right?" I paused, then replied, "If it doesn't serve peace, I don't need to hear it." He looked surprised, then nodded silently. That moment taught me that not every truth is worth receiving. A person who truly values honesty will speak with kindness, not warning labels. If they must ask for permission to offend, it's because they already know they're about to cross a line. So answer wisely. That depends on what you're about to say. Or, if you fear I'll be offended, maybe you should reconsider saying it. This returns the mirror to their hand. My friend Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." The purpose of Stoicism is not silence born from fear, but silence born from self-command. Life will always bring people who test your composure, who ask loaded questions just to make you react. But remember this, you are not obligated to play every game that is presented to you. Wisdom is not about knowing every answer. It's about knowing which questions do not deserve one. When you walk away from manipulation, you don't lose, you rise. Each time you choose silence over reaction, you become a little freer. Seneca wrote, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." The same applies to conversations. Not how long they last, but how much peace they leave behind. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe to Stoic Spring. Every week you'll nurture your inner strength. Learn to protect your peace and grow in maturity through Stoic wisdom. And always remember, the silence of the wise is worth more than the noise of the foolish.